Good morning. It's Tuesday morning. Welcome to week 8 of the course. Once again, fantastic work last week within the discussion sessions, within the response papers that you did on Silco. I've taken a quick look at those and they all look good. I haven't, I'll get to the grades later on this week. I kind of apologize. My grading this semester, it's taking me usually until about, I guess, Friday evening at this point. I wish that I could get to your grading sooner, but that seems to be the schedule that I'm on for this semester, given everything I have going on. So you can generally start looking for, your grades around Thursday at the earliest, Friday, Saturday at the latest of each week that you turn them in. But none of you, those of you who are taking part in the course, keeping up with the work, turning your work in on time, I don't think you should know by now that your grades, everything's looking to be right on track. So no real issues there. We've read Silco over the last 2 weeks. I hope that you all enjoyed her book. It's a different type of autoethnography. It's a different format of book. Photographs, the sort of visual modes of sort of storytelling are there. There's many different genres that are mixed throughout the text. I think it's a fascinating book, and I hope that you all had an enjoyable read with it. What we will be doing for coming up here for the next month, we're going to be reading David Troyer's The Hiawatha. This is David's, would have been his his first novel. He had a collection of short stories. This is his second novel. It's a great story about symbolic spaces, about the different geographical spaces where Native people engage with the world, from the reservation to the cities, to what's called even a center, I think, of being. And we're talking about representations of culture. So it's just a really fun and interesting book. It's different. It's a lot of short chapters. The style, I think, and the aesthetic is somewhat more of a literary style. The plot structure is not necessarily linear. So just bear in mind with, as you read the book. My best advice is just to continue. If when you're reading a book and the plot and the time and the characterization, if there's these shifts that come from chapter to chapter, my best advice to people who encounter this type of literature for the first time, or they're just maybe not, they don't read a lot of it, is just sort of keep plugging away at the book, and eventually what will happen is the writer's aesthetic will begin to sort of work with your reading mind, and you'll begin to sort of develop an understanding of the text, I think, in new and interesting ways. You will have to read up to about page 74, part 1 of the book, I think, for this week. There's a short video, a quick little 10-minute video in an interview with David about his first book, Res Life, but I think in many ways that sort of resonates with his earlier work here, The Hiawatha. This is an interesting book. It's a book that deals with some pretty graphic sort of work, some pretty graphic scenes, so sort of be aware for that. The only other thing I'll say about the book is that we will be taking our time with this text. It's about a 310-page text, and we're going to be reading it for about the next month. So we finish week 8, week 9 is spring break, and then week 10 and week 11 of the course we'll continue to read this work. I will be making an announcement again next Tuesday, even though it's spring break, so you may want to come back and check in then, because I will be opening up assignments. They won't be due the week after spring break, but I want to go ahead and open some assignments up during spring break for those of you who may want to get to the work. Other than that, as always, I've heard from a few of you through email, even received a phone call one night. I'm always here and available to sort of help folks out, to talk to them with questions they may have about the course. I think I've even I ran into one student in the Writing Center where I work as a tutor a couple hours a week. So that's pretty fascinating. It's always fun to sort of run into and see people. Another quick thing, there'll be an extra credit assignment coming up on the weekend of April 25th, which is a Saturday. That's Madison College's powwow. I will post later in the week. I will post some details about that for some extra credit work if people think they want it. So other than that, as always, if you have any questions at all, just get in touch with me. and I'll get back to you as quick as I can. All right, have a good week. Thanks.